Hello everyone, I'm excited to be here. My name is Rachit and I'm the founder and CEO of Stackby. While the pandemic has taken a toll on all of us, the show must go on. We need to work as effectively as we can, regardless of wherever we are working from. Before I get started in the webinar, I want to walk through 5 trends that drive us at Stackby in 2021 and beyond. So let's get started. 5 trends that drive us for 2021 and beyond. First, we know remote work is there to stay. Second, we have seen there are a lot of tools available in the market, pre-packaged ERPs, CRMs, you name it. Most of those tools are not customizable. And most of the no-code tools that are out there still involve code. Third, there is an apparent need for platforms that empower business users like you. And we are on a mission to democratize software creation for 1 billion plus spreadsheet users. The idea is to allow you to create no-code tools that work for you. Meet Stackby. Stackby is a combination of 3 things: spreadsheets, databases, and no-code API connectors. And we have combined it into a single, flexible collaboration platform. It's a web application. It's available on iOS and Android. There are desktop apps, and there is a Chrome extension. Let's jump right inside the product. So once you go to Stackby, you log in. You enter into a dashboard. Now, in a dashboard, you're looking at 2 different things. One is your workspace. A workspace can be a company or a department or a project. And within that workspace, there are workflows, or it could be a custom database that we call stacks. So a stack can be a custom CRM or a project tracker or a sales pipeline. It can be anything that you want it to be. Now, both at the workspace level, you can invite people, give them a permission from owner to creator to editor to commenter to read only, and allow them to enable the stack, the stacks inside them to share. You can also invite people individually at the stack level and give them a permission. Now, once you can create a stack in 3 different ways. You click on Add Stack. You can first import the data from all these different sources. So it could be from a CSV file, or pasting data from Google Sheets, or importing your Microsoft Excel file, and we have more importers coming soon. Or you can also choose from a predefined template. So there are over 150 templates across different categories, from marketing to sales to HR, and you can look at any of those templates. So these are easily usable templates. Single click. And it basically gets added into the workspace. The third, you can always start from scratch. So which is what I did. So I created my own campaign management stack. Now let's walk over that. Now, once I enter the stack, I am essentially looking at, a table. Now, this table is special. There are rows and columns, but if you see, there are 25 different types of column types in this table. So you can add short text, long text, number-based format. Within number, there's currency or percentage. You can add a duration, date and time, checkboxes, single option, multiple options, collaborators and multiple collaborators. You can add files. You can bring it from your Google Drive, from your Gmail, or from your OneDrive, or even from your computer. Add ratings, even add formulas. So there are over 100 different types of formulas and functions in Stackby. Then what you can do is you can also link between 2 tables. So because Stackby is like a relational database, you can create relationships across two tables. So you can link one row from one table to another table. Then you can do a lookup, you can do a count, or you can aggregate those linked records. Plus, we have recently added some really new exciting column types. Basically, you can also now scan a barcode. So you can use the Stackby mobile apps to scan the barcode and add it to Stackby. And there is who created it and who updated it. At the same time, there's also progress column type that allows you to summarize your checklists right inside the tables. And the most important one, you can also connect a column to a third party API or a service. So there are different services you can integrate, from Google Analytics to YouTube to Ahrefs to Search Console, Instagram, Twitter, and more. Now let's go over the columns one by one. So if I just add a new row, say I call it Stackby test campaign, I can add the details of this campaign in the long text. Get to 100K YouTube followers. I can add multiple tags, which funnel, content and stories. I can add any reference files that I want. So I can connect to Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, Gmail, and so on. Or I can even just upload a file from the computer. So let me just upload a file. So once the file is uploaded, you can see it in the cell. And you can click and see that file in the Stackby platform itself. And I can download it or delete it from here. Now, here I want to add the budget. So let's just add, say, $5,000. There are checkboxes, whether they say, for example, the content is done. Now, what I can do is I can also link between two tables. So I have the campaigns table and I have the channels table. Now in this table, for example, if I add a new channel, I call it, say, YouTube. Let's just say YouTube is already added. Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to link this particular test campaign row to the YouTube channel. So if I click on link row, I click on the plus sign, and all the records from the channels table will show up, and you just click, and basically it's now connected to the YouTube row from this table. So if you look at the YouTube channel, you can see the Stackby test campaign is already here. So now I can move on. I can also add start dates and end dates. This will especially work really effectively when you're using calendar views. I can add, the status. So this is upcoming. Who's the lead? I can assign leads. As soon as I add people, they would get a real-time notification. So you can also send them Slack or Microsoft Team notifications. I can add ratings. I can add, what is the duration of this campaign? Say 10 hours. There is an automatic number ID that gets created. And there are formula column types. So basically, if I have, for example, clicks and I have the budget. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a basic formula. Say budget divided by clicks. and I want to show it in an integer. Just apply. So it basically gives you, what is the budget, how much did you spend per click? And I can also show it in a currency format, right? So this is how you can add formulas. So there are over 100 different types of, formulas and functions. So whether, these are numerical functions or logical functions, logical operators, date time functions, even like as complex as an if formula, all the date time functions, and even like, we've recently added the array functions, text functions, the encode URL components, as well as the regex functions. And all of the guide is on our support center. So you'll be able to easily learn, these formulas and configure it according to your needs. So these are few of the column types, that we went through. Now, what we can also do is I can individually open each of those records into detailed, views where I can still change the same information as I would change at the row level. I can add, more clicks. I can add a file. I can change the budget, right? I can add more notes. At the same time, I can chat and collaborate with my team members. I can tag them, comment on it, on individual row. This becomes a real-time collaboration platform. I can see the activity history of each of the rows, who added it, what was changed, and so on. I can add an individual checklist. Say, do this, do that. I can check it off, or even set a reminder into the future. So you can set a reminder for the 28th for 1 o'clock and remind me 10 minutes before, and I can save those reminders. And this reminder can also go into your Slack notifications, your Microsoft Team notifications, and also in-app notifications. We have also enabled desktop and mobile notifications for reminders as well. And I can do it for all the other records there are. Now, you're not just looking at the data in a table view. There are different layouts that you can configure within Stackby. So you can configure this. There are 6 different types of layouts: Kanban, calendar. You can create custom forms to bring data from anywhere. You can create internal forms to share it with your team members, and it can be password protected. Or you can, customize this into a gallery view. So let's look at some of the views. So this is a pipeline view. So all the records, if you have a single option drop-down configured in Stackby in your table, you can change it into a Kanban style view as well. And you can move around. And these are all syncable views. So if you're changing Stackby test campaign from draft to work in progress or to revision, it will also change in the master view. It goes. I can group this column even by leads, who's responsible for it, and see it in a pipeline. I can also see, it in a calendar view. So these are, all the records in a calendar view, and I've selected, the column as the start date, column, and I can also add an end date if I have that field configured in the table. I've color coded all the fields by status. So I can color code it, or I can select the display column that I want to show the information. So if I just want to look at the budget or the campaign ID, which is what it's by default selected. And I can see it by month, by week, by work week, by day, or by agenda. I can also create custom forms. So for example, if I want to create a campaign request form, what I can then do is, let's put this here, and I can drag and drop, the details that I want, from my from the requesters or from my clients. So I can create that, a quick form through drag and drop. I can select, whether, I want to make this a required form or a non-required form. I can add, the description, details for the, let's just say title for the campaign. And save. Campaign goals. Let's just remove this one. Let's remove this one. The campaign URL. Yeah, I want to collect information about the campaign duration, their budget, the funnel, which channels, what is the start date, and any reference files that they want to add. I can change the form settings. I can create the header in the center. I can add my custom logos. Change the background color. I want to keep it as simple as possible, or I can change the color into one of the different color types. So there are both darker and the lighter versions available. I can customize the submit message. So as soon as somebody submits this form, what message I want to show. Thanks for sending the campaign request. And I want to get an email as soon as somebody submits this form. I can also redirect this URL. As soon as somebody submits a form, I can add a redirect URL that can basically go to any website or a blog that you want them to redirect to. And you can also disable, another response. If you just want one response from one person, you can just disable this, and you just save this. As soon as you save, you can share this form to anybody through this link, or even embed this from anywhere into your website, into your blog. Now, once I click on the preview, basically a form is created, right? And this link, as you said, as I said, can be shared across anywhere. So for example, if I add a new campaign, Stackby collaboration campaign, reach out to entrepreneurs working from home. Duration is 10 days. Budget is $1,000, and I want to create some content and some ads. I can select the channel, Facebook and Google ad. The start date should be from the 28th, and any reference files if I want to share, and just submit this form. So as soon as you submit this form, a new row is created in Stackby, and you can see all the details that I filled out. What you can then do is, add a status, add your team members, and any of the other details that we just saw. Even add a checklist, a quick one. Send this to content team, revise the draft. So you see the progress is, you're already on the particular campaign. So this is how you can easily collaborate and bring details in Stackby. Now there is a new view called the gallery view. So you can also see all the records in a particular gallery, right? And this is great for mood boards, or for displaying files, or photographs of the campaigns or the assets of the campaigns. I can customize these cards, what I want to show, right, for each of those campaigns. And I can see multiple images that are out there for that particular gallery. I can even filter each of these, where I just want to see, I only want to see the assets of, the campaigns where the status is upcoming or revision. So it just looks at, those particular campaigns. Now with all these views, I can also now individually share each of these views. So for example, if I want to, just hide a particular column or just filter where I just want to show where the status is work in progress. And I just want to share this particular view or just create a duplicate layout. So let me just create a duplicate layout here. So it will create a new view, and this view, I'll call it work in progress campaigns. And if I want to share this particular view, I can share it with the team members and give them a permission. So they don't see all the columns or all the rows. They only see what's been added to this particular view. So it's great for collaboration where you want to keep the master data to yourself and share the filtered views with anybody else in your team. So they just get to see this particular view in that table. And if they change something from this view, for example, this goes from work in progress to upcoming, it moves away from this view, but in the all campaigns table, you basically see that in upcoming. Here you go. I can also create multiple filters. I mean, it's not just one filter. You can add multiple types of filters where funnel has content and say budget is greater than 1,000. I can filter those records. I can also search individually. Remote work. See, there are 2 campaigns on remote work. I can also do a quick sort, say based on the budget. So it just filters and sorts accordingly. Now I can also individually share this particular view. So if I want to embed this view onto my website or a blog, and I want to share, this database just for knowledge sharing purposes, you can easily do it. So you can create any sort of a resource checklist or any sort of a template and add it to your personal blog or website or even company website and just embed this code. And you can click, whether if you want to allow viewers to copy this data or not. I can also change the row height just to accommodate all the content of the cell and manage it accordingly. So now let's go to integrations. So as I shared with you that Stackby is an API first platform. So what that means is you can also connect columns to third-party APIs. So let's look at, very easy, Google Analytics reporting dashboard. So what I've done here is, let's just look at, the YouTube video production planning template. So imagine you are a video marketer. So, you're managing your video production as well as, publishing content on YouTube. So what you need to do is you can manage who's working on what, with all the column types that we just described. But at the same time, you can bring in the YouTube IDs once those, videos, are live on YouTube. And you can connect a particular column to an API. So in this case, let me just delete this. I've connected this to an API. So in this case, I've connected this to YouTube. I just have to get an API key, which is super easy to get. Select the YouTube service. I want to bring in the video details and the ID column to reference, which is the video ID. So as soon as I apply, basically, it brings the response, the data in a JSON response. So you can see the JSON and you can select, which data you want to configure in the columns. Say, for example, title, description, the tags, and I want to bring in the statistics, the view count, like count, and dislike count. And I can create these 6 columns. So as soon as those columns are created, you will see the columns being filled out. And all you can then do is just refresh the data to see this change in real time. So this is very powerful, where not only you can plan and manage, but also automate your data reporting in a single place. And there are more than 100 different types of pre-built APIs and functions with all the popular services that you can configure. I'll give you some more examples. So I can also now automate and schedule this. So let me just refresh again. So I can click on this icon. I'll just create this automation. So I can set this automation for every 7 days or every 3 days and just schedule it. So as soon as this is scheduled, basically it will automatically keep changing the data, at your scheduled time. So you can also automate your APIs, in the platform, where you don't have to manually keep refreshing. So now if you're managing your video production, your content production, you can also see the video statistics in a single place. Now the same way, if you're a digital entrepreneur, you're managing your Google Analytics reporting. So the same way I can, bring in my view IDs and connect this, bring in my view IDs, look at the, add the start dates and the end dates. And I can connect this to various, Google's APIs functions. So for example, I've connected this to the get users by view ID. So it basically pulls in the users and traffic, the users, the new users, the organic searches between those months for your website. So it's great for your website reporting or your marketing initiatives. You can link this to your marketing initiatives to see which marketing initiative has performed well, which project has performed well, and at the same place you can also see what was the impact of the traffic on your website. Now the same way, if you're managing Facebook ads, Facebook is a hot platform right now. So you can manage your campaigns, get your campaign ID from Facebook, connect this to the campaign API. So for example, I want to bring insights for a particular campaign, and it pulls in the information. The CPC, the CPM, the CTR, the frequency that you're getting, the total clicks, how much you've spent till date, what are the total impressions, and you can configure those columns. And the same way I can look at ad sets, or even at the ads level in Facebook. So not only you're planning and managing your campaigns, collaborating with your team to get things done, but you're also looking at reporting in a single place, and you can automate that reporting. So we have various integrations. So if you look at analytics, Google Analytics, YouTube Analytics, where it gives you all the detailed channel metrics, it's great for YouTube content creators. Search Console, if you are into search traffic and if you want to analyze your organic search traffic for your website. Facebook ads, there's Intercom, there's a lot of lead management APIs. So if you're building your lead lists or you're managing your leads, or if you want to find email addresses of people who could be potential customers or your prospects, you can connect to Clearbit or Full Contact or Hunter and bring their email addresses and all the other details. So it's great for data enrichment purposes. Even if you're a VC and you're managing your deal flow, you can connect to Mattermark to pull in the startup's funding information, their employees, their growth, and so on. There's GitHub. There's email verification tools. So from zero bounce to clear out. There's email campaigns. So if you're sending out email campaigns via MailChimp, you can also pull in the statistics of open rate, replies, clicks, and so on. There's finance. There's a stock, market API. We're also adding some crypto APIs. There's machine learning, Google NLP, all the social media ones, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook posts, even shared count. So basically, shared count allows you to look at the social sharing metrics of any of the content that you share on the internet, whether it's a blog or a video, to see how it's performing, how many people are sharing it, how many people are reacting on it, and so on. And there are a lot of SEO APIs. So all the popular ones from Ahrefs to Alexa to SEMrush to Moz to Substat. And basically it gives you anywhere, you can do an on-page SEO audit to keyword research, like an automated keyword research. You can also track, how your competitors are doing, and even track backlinks, for your website and your competitors' websites. There's translation tools. And you can also connect Stackby to more than 2,000 plus apps, via Zapier, Integromat, Integrately, Pabbly, Anyten, and so on. And we are constantly, adding more and more tools and services and giving access to those tools and services. So once you are done with all this, there's more that the Stackby platform has to offer. So we are constantly, building and improving the product and making it easier for people to share data, build their own custom databases, build their own custom tools, but also manipulate that data. So we've recently released Stackby Power-Ups. So Power-Ups essentially makes your life easier. So there are different categories, of Power-Ups. So you can export the stack back into Excel sheet. You can import from Microsoft Excel. You can append a CSV file in an existing table. You can map, you can upload the CSV files and map the columns and, easily, bring the data in an existing table. Then you can share the views. There is a recycle bin, so you can recover deleted items from the last 7 days. You can automate the API column type that I showed you. You can also open up your stacks directly from Google Drive. So we also have a Google Drive app. So you can easily connect your Google Drive account. So you can also open up your databases right from Google Drive. And there is a Chrome extension that you can download to clip information from the web into Stackby. So as we have a lot of those templates that the Stackby team has published, we want to give the ability for, normal people, for, people like you, to be able to, build and share their own templates. So we've recently released Stackby 1. It allows you to basically publish your own templates. So you click on publish, select which stack you want to publish, add a file, give it a title, add a description, select a category, and just click on publish stack. So as soon as you click on publish stack, it goes to, the Stackby team to review, and we have a super fast process, to review any of the template, and we make it live on the Stackby 1 community. So because this is a fairly new, offering, we've released some, few templates. So you can see that, I've recently released like the product hunt launch checklist template that we internally used. So this is an embedded template. So if you want to become a maker, so, all the Stackby users are called stackers. But if you want to become, an official stacker, you need to publish a template on Stackby and share it with the world. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, about the product. We have, a growing, community forum that we recently launched. So, we talk about everything here. And we have, our users, on this forum, sharing content, asking questions, talking about different use cases, and we post all the product updates, even from a small, a smaller, feature update to a large, announcement. So do join this, community. And we are also on Facebook. So our Facebook community, our Facebook group is also growing. We are now close to around 1,500 members. So do join that as well. So you can click on this link here, and you can take the guided tour and follow our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, we are just available with a single click. Click on any questions, you'll see a chat window open, and you can talk to us anytime. But we make sure that you don't have to talk to us. That's why we keep improving our product. But you can, if you're asked, if you want to look at any, of the help center articles to see how a certain feature works, you can go to the help center, and we constantly add, more articles, guides, and everything, in this help center. So you'll find everything, answers to every single question of yours, in the help center. We constantly keep updating this. So yeah, that's a little bit, about Stackby. So, just to summarize, what we saw, all the building blocks of Stackby. First, you can access it, via web, iOS and Android. Download those apps. You can download the desktop apps, and you can also, install the Chrome extension. But at the same time, within the whole create, module, there are data importers, 150 templates, 25 column types, and 6 different layouts that I showed. Within automate, you can connect to, more than 40 plus no code API connectors. You can set up automations, as I showed you. You can look at power ups, and you can connect 2000 plus apps via Zapier or Integromat. Plus all of this, while you're doing it, you can collaborate with your team in real time, via chat, checklists, and reminders. You can also integrate to Slack and Microsoft Teams to send notifications to your channels, and even collaborate and share your templates on Stack by One. So we're constantly expanding, the whole universe of Stackby, through these building blocks. So we have 3 more exciting, big modules that we are currently working on. One is the grouping feature. Second is, reporting dashboards, and third is inbuilt automations. So, we'll be soon launching it, later this year, and we are constantly, improving the product. So your feedback is most appreciated. Just reach out to us on support@stackby.com. And, if you have any questions, our turnaround times are fantastic. Our team will make sure, to help you out in any way possible. So keep stacking, and go try out Stackby for free if you have not already. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to us on support@stackby, or tweet us, at stackbyhq. Cheers.